If you think your lawn looks bad, take a look at this. Grass that's almost 3 feet tall, weeds absolutely everywhere. This place has been neglected for years, but in just a few weeks with a little bit of effort, I was able to turn it into this, and this looks so much better. Now, if you watch my channel before, you know that I've already done this job at my old house, and it started off with another garbage lawn, but in just a short time, that thing almost looked like a golf course. And in this video, I'm going to share the secret to my success so that you can do this job yourself no matter what kind of lawn you're starting off with. Here's what my backyard looked like at the beginning, and as you can see, this was even worse in the front. So to begin any lawn care renovation using my method, you need to always follow the golden rule. Remember that your lawn is kind of like a forest. It's got all kinds of different plants, and of course lots of weeds as you see here. So the first thing you need to do is get rid of the competition, and that means killing off the weeds. Because if you kill the weeds, all you will be left with is grass, and you'll be on your way to having a much better lawn. But how do you actually kill those weeds? This is so important because this is a step where most people fail. They want to go out and just buy fertilizer, throw down some vitamins on the lawn or something else, and all that's going to do is help fertilize the weeds and your grass. I'm going to recommend two different approaches. You can use the product Tenacity that I've shown you in many of my other videos. It's labeled for more than 50 weeds, including all the hard ones: crabgrass, Dallas grass, clover, dandelion, and tons more. You can spot spray your weeds, and you will be on your way to a better lawn. But there is a time you might want to consider another approach, and that's if you have a lawn like mine where you've got literally more than 70% weeds. Spot spraying might be a little bit more time consuming, or it may not be the best way to initially hit your lawn. So I'm going to recommend an even easier approach that you can do as your first step that will help you knock out the weeds, and that's to use this product called Surge. This is part of a fertilizer product made by the Andersons, and this is one of the best products on the market that gives you both weed and feed. The other benefit here is it's a granular product, so you can just put it in your regular lawn spreader. You'll apply this stuff just like regular fertilizer, except when those granules land on a weed, they'll get absorbed into the leaves and they will kill it. And weed and feeds aren't new, but they are not all the same. They have different chemical formulations, and I've used Scott's products in the past with really poor results. This Anderson's product is a professional grade 1, and it includes the chemical called Surge, and that is a really good track record for getting rid of all kinds of weeds. It's just a single step. You just put it in your spreader, walk around, you'll be fertilizing your lawn, and you'll be killing off the weeds. And if you've got a really bad weed problem like I do here, this could be an effective way to get rid of the most weeds possible for the least amount of effort and time. Now you should always read the label, but here's a few tips for applying this stuff. You want to do it earlier in the day or after you've watered your lawn because you want those grass blades and weed leaves to be a little bit wet. This way when you're putting this stuff down, they have the ability to stick right to the leaf, and that's what makes that weed killing happen. The other tip is around mowing your lawn. You don't want to mow your lawn any sooner than 2 days before applying this stuff, and then once you apply it, you don't want to mow your lawn for at least 4 to 6 days. But you can water your lawn normally within 24 hours of applying this stuff. It does have some limitations. You can't just keep applying this stuff because it is a weed killer and a fertilizer, so you're going to be limited to really using this maybe once or twice a year. But as an initial kind of bang on all those weeds, this is a great way to hit your lawn, especially if you've got a huge amount of weed cover like I did. But the problem is all weeds don't just sprout up at the same time, so there's no way that Surge product can completely kill them off. That's when you need to come up with another solution to get rid of any other weeds that show up down the road or later in the season. Or maybe your lawn is in a total dump and you've just got some areas of weeds that you want to deal with. Well, that's when you're going to want to look at the product Tenacity that I've shown you in my previous videos. And fortunately, they've actually updated the product this year. The formula is exactly the same because the product works so well on weeds, but what they did is they updated the bottle. They used to give you a kind of needle that would let you measure the solution, but now you just squeeze this bottle to get the exact amount you want. Now I've also linked my Tenacity video in the upper right hand corner, and that will give you every single step to use this product effectively, but it's really simple to use. You just look at the bottle, measure the amount of Tenacity that you want to make. Here I'm going to use a brand new sprayer I've got from this company called Tomahawk, and this one holds 5 gallons. All I need to do is squeeze the Tenacity bottle until that guide on the left reads just under 5, and then it will give me the exact amount of Tenacity I need. And this is a professional grade product, so you do need to apply 2 other things in the mix to make this stuff work. Tenacity by itself can't really stick to the leaves of plants, so this other product called a surfactant is going to allow it to do that job, so when you spray it, it'll stick directly to the leaves, and then it can kill off the weeds. It doesn't kill your grass, it just kills the weeds. It can literally kill weeds that are in the middle of your lawn without damaging the lawn at all. The problem with spraying this stuff is you're not going to be able to tell what you've sprayed or what you haven't sprayed, so it's easy to fix that problem by adding a food coloring to the mix. Now this isn't just the same food coloring you get at your store, this is more concentrated and it's a lot cheaper. And with this all mixed in, you're ready to go. You'll want to close up your sprayer and then give it a good shake to make sure that everything is well mixed. Tomahawk spray uses a battery, which means I never need to pump it. It's also got a really high pressure pump inside, and that's going to help me apply a lot of product with the least amount of effort. You can of course use other sprayers on the market, but you've got to be careful. If they apply too much chemical or the spray droplets are too big, you can actually over apply it. Here, this sprayer that holds almost 5 gallons is going to be perfect for my lawn because I've got a lot of area to spray. And I'm still doing this even after I applied that granular surge product, but as you can see, the amount of weeds in my lawn are easily less than half of what I started with. Tenacity is always my go-to product for killing off any weeds that pop up, or if you just want to do spot treatment, you can continue to use Tenacity for your entire lawn. Now you can already see on my lawn I've got a lot less weeds because that surge product really knocked a lot of them out. But now I've got to go and spot spray anything I see, and if you miss stuff, it's not a big deal. You can always spray again later, but you want to take your time to try to spray as many weeds as possible. As you're spraying, it is so easy to miss where you've previously sprayed, and that dye is going to kind of turn the grass a bluish green, and it makes it obvious to know any spot that you've already sprayed. Overspraying will not help you. In fact, you can damage the grass. The secret to using this stuff like a pro is you just want to do a quick spray one time over the weed, and that will give you the best result possible. You can use this on dandelion, crabgrass, Dallas grass, clover, and 50 more. Now make sure you always read the label for Tenacity. This video isn't a replacement. I'm just showing you what I do on my own particular lawn. But some questions I get asked a lot are, can you water your lawn normally after applying Tenacity? And the answer is absolutely yes. You just want to let Tenacity dry. It can just be a couple of hours, but personally, I generally spray around 6 p.m. at night, and then I'm going to leave it drying overnight, and I'll water my lawn normally starting the next day. The other question is about mowing. Just like the dry product, you do not want to mow your lawn for 2 days before applying Tenacity, and you need to allow Tenacity to sit on the leaves for 2 days after you apply it before you mow again. Now keep in mind, in some ways, Tenacity is a miracle type of product. It kills off the weeds without damaging your grass, but it does take some time to work. Once you spray it on the lawn, you're not going to see anything for several days, maybe even up to a week, but then you're going to see this. The weeds are going to start to kind of turn yellow, then they will go to a paper white, and they are so bright, you're not going to be too happy with me because you're going to think I kind of ruined your lawn, but leave it be. In a few more days to another week, they're going to turn from white to yellow to brown, and then they will completely decompose on their own. You don't have to dig anything up, you don't have to rake anything. If you watch this, you might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of work. It really isn't. I went out and I put down a granular product on my lawn once, and I got rid of more than half of my weeds. And then I just needed to do one treatment of Tenacity, and that's going to knock out about 90% of the remaining ones in my lawn. And remember, you're not going to be going through this every single year. In my experience, after your first year, the amount of weeds you'll see in the next season will be less than half of this, and in subsequent seasons, you will see even less till you reach a point where the weeds are hardly a problem at all. Because the second part to this is, we now need to focus on the grass. Now this video is primarily around the weed control because that is the most important step you'll have. But now being the fall, we need to move on to the overseeding process. And overseeding is one of the best things you can do for any lawn to help increase the thickness, add turf, and you get a chance to introduce some new grass seeds that can really be beneficial to your entire space. Becoming a weed control master is going to be the most important part of any kind of lawn renovation. Doesn't matter what you put in your lawn for fertilizers, supplements, without controlling the weeds, you will never have a great lawn. So focus on this as your first step, and as you can see by these results, your lawn will improve and you'll be on your way to a much better place in no time.